Okay. Okay, and so this was written from, it was a conversation between me and my mother, Earth. And it's an experience of, well, I am here experiencing mind. I'm using this vehicle to experience what it's like to be a mind and to learn to organize that mind that I may create with it or from it, with it. And so I'm not the mind, but I'm experiencing mind and learning to create through this experience of mind. And so that is the platform from which I'm experiencing. So I'm observing myself being the mind or experiencing the mind. Okay. And the mental configurations of the mind. So this is the divine mind of thoughtful mental configuration. Experiencing the mind of conceptual thoughts from the point of the observer. As I sit quietly in my backyard, enjoying the beauty of my mother, she gifts me with her radiant presence, asking nothing in return. She softly whispers, "I love you." I'm quiet and still from within, for that's where my mother and I begin. Her gift of love is simple, direct, as experienced not with words but feelings. I observe and experience her beauty from a silent mind, for words would diffuse the gift of her presence, diluting her essence, thus leaving her unknown to me. Her beauty floods my entire being, as together we coalesce in perfect stillness, becoming one. I'm small, yet the perfect imprint of her infinite womb. All boundaries are erased, leaving me expanding infinitely, gifting me with experiencing grandness in feeling. I become her breath, as my every cell coheres through her essence, as they are now known, and again we are one. She feels like home when I commune with her, as we meet in that still small space within, the space I forgot and know once again. Her presence feels like a soft warm blanket, allowing me to relax in her effervescent beauty. In this space, silence is the medium for experiencing feelings, as there are no distractions to break our flow. Using only feelings, I'm pondering over our human condition and why this is so. To observe myself as other, seemingly unaware of my true presence. I wonder how this can be, as I can only experience them as divinity. She reminds me that nothing is wrong, as all is in accordance with the divine plan. The plan is a pattern of perfection, as its proportions are perfectly sequential for evolution, although seemingly not so from our external view. The end result is perfection. And then this is more of an interactive poetry, I guess. I don't know. It's just love. Synergy. I am aware of your presence, my beautiful mother. I experience you deeply, yet seemingly not do my sisters and my brothers. I observe myself hurting my others, casting spells, of pain and displeasure. I seek freedom from suffering, yet I endlessly injure. I am criminal, victim, judge, and jury. I impose prison sentences upon myself, keeping me trapped in a fury of hell. Oh, my daughter, they are young, and you are a bit older. You've, you've experienced more rotations around the sun. They are growing and learning. Unbeknownst to them, they are freely allowed to play and pretend. Yes, mother, I know, yet it clearly appears they so often transpose, stuck in first gear. They look in the mirror, missing their beauty. They seem only to experience wars of gratuity. They long to connect, yet when they get near, they throw punches and insults, breaking their mirrors. They blame and they shame. They hate and they sneer. They break their own vessels with worries and fears. They claim to be loving and concerned for all, yet they push and they pull. They topple and fall. Oh, my daughter, love has many forms and patterns. It's the gift of creating through experiencing mind matter. To grow and know, to spoon and flow, to paint and draw, to birth without flaw. Yes, mother, I know, yet they see not the much bigger picture, for they divide into lots. Their stories are false, yet they believe them real. They've forgotten to learn, for they cannot feel. They speak as if they hold the truth, yet they cannot see. They bear no fruit. No, my daughter, its gifts are nutritious. It's one of a kind, for its fruits are delicious. Their squabbles are tools for radiant birth. As they gird up their loins, they will be re-earthed. The process appears painfully slow, yet it's what they've chosen for their soul to grow. But mother, I'm tired of the shouting and scorn. Our children are crying, lost and forlorn. They have all they need, yet they ever seek more. Though their presence is stable, strong and secure. I try my best to reflect them their needs, yet they only focus on which they displease. They point and they curse the ones in the mirror. They so want to see, yet their vision's unclear. Their minds are swirling, they cannot hear, though I've repeated the message loud and clear. My heart is aching as it overflows. The gift of self-love I wish to propose. They ever sleep, though they claim they're awake. How much suffering can they possibly take? Oh, my dear daughter, view it as love, for all is divine, expressed from above. They kick and they scream, their tender hearts torn. Yes, pain is a gift. From it, beauty's born. Be only yourself. Don't contort or twist. Be the expression of all that exists. Love yourself just as you are. Your essence as presence fills empty jars. Do not subject to others' demands. Hold your ground firmly, for that is the plan. Only offer, do not request, for expectations have created this mess. Give freely from love, not from need. You are whole and complete There is no one to please. Be the role model that presence exudes if loving yourself is what you choose. Forgiveness of self is not about blame. It's the key to your freedom. It's the cure for all pain. Insanity is only losing oneself. Collect your presence and exit from hell. Leave others with love, whomever you greet, for you are the one that walks down your street. I love you. I really love you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just so tired of this. And I know it's our path, and I know that's evolution, but to see my beautiful family creating villains and victims and heroes when all they really want is themselves and they can't receive it. They can, and it's okay. I'm okay with it, I know, but I just feel everything. And it hurts. It hurts. But love can feel painful. And in that pain, it's actually beautiful. And I know how to experience that now and love it. I love feeling this because this is what we're lacking. Openly expressing what I am right now. There's nothing to be afraid of. Be yourself, please. And love yourself to the best of your ability in every moment of now, which means monitoring your thoughts, your emotions, your imagination, your focus of attention, what it is you desire, who it is you are, what it is you choose, what is your path, and walk toward that and remove all of the other stuff in your mind to the best of your ability. And that is a big order, but we can do it. We are limitless. We are everything, and we can overcome anything because we created this. So we can overcome anything. And this should be looked upon. No, not should, that's not right. I choose to look upon this as beauty. Because if I judge that as wrong, I'm judging the creator, I'm judging myself, and then I stay divided, and I'm here to unify. So, and that's just me. And authentically, perfectly beautiful me. And all of you are the same, perfect, divine, radiant perfection. It's all you've ever been. You can't even be anything other than that. It's just these lies that we have been taught and are believing and are basing our reality from lies and creating it from lies. And no one's at fault. It's just time for change. Time to love each other. Live in a space of tolerance and understanding, and so that we may understand and grow as one. So, yeah. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. And beautiful, amazing James is going to give us some of his beautiful mind information, because I am here experiencing being mind and expressing mind. And it's mental configurations, thoughts, concepts, ideas. And so he's going to give us some really cool information on that. And then he's going to put us into a meditation. He's amazing. He just knocked me out in like 2 minutes. I was like, whoa. And I just was off. It's transurfing. And then when you're in that state, then I'm going to do like a guided imagery, and I'm going to walk you through your mind and to the I am within you. And so when I'm walking you through that, stay in your heart and just be present. If you find yourself thinking, shift out immediately and just listen to what I'm saying. Just listen without thought and let it come in. And it's amazing. It's amazing. This could shift your entire world right now if you choose to. If you choose to. All right. Thank you. All right, James, it's all yours.
We cannot hear you, James. Nope, cannot hear you. Nope, cannot hear you. No sound coming. Everybody use your imagination and picture me tap dancing. While James works on this, Veronica has probably got the best imagination. She saw me square dance this weekend. The rest of you, imagine being a cowboy outfit with a cowboy hat and boots and a big old belt buckle, nice jeans. And there I am tap dancing away. Clickety clack, you know, twirling, spinning, going around in circles.
I love that. I'm
Yep.
getting dizzy. Slow down.
Okay, I'll take it slow. I had all kinds of partners. It was amazing. I had Terry, Veronica, I had Lori, Finna. We had a couple of other people that I'd never met before. It's amazing.
Dancing is my world.
All right.
I love to dance. I started square dancing,
Yeah.
ballroom dancing, country dancing. Music just flows, and I harmonize with just the right tune, and it just takes you away. It just takes you to a beautiful place.
We came from sound, right? Because sound was the first vibration in the universe. So yes, we are creatures of sound.
Yes.
You become the music.
I do. It's scary how much I do.
Me too. Me too. I don't ever want to stop.
Yes. Except for when I get really out of breath.
We are the breath. We're remembering it.
Well, I have to tell my lungs that.
Okay, James, we still can't hear you. Gotta love technology. Hey, heard something there, James.
It's okay because all my slides got deleted anyways.
They did?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just talk.
There he is.
Okay. Let me mute this. So all of my slides. Cool now. So all of my slides got deleted anyways because my phone my computer randomly froze. So today I'll just look at my slides from here. Today we're going to talk about a concept called the objective versus the subjective. And so what subjective is typically something that is, well, actually, I'm going to read the actual definition to you because I have it on my computer. What did you do? Just give me, bear with me, guys. I apologize. Here we go. So, objective versus subjective. So the definition of objective is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions. No, I'm sorry, not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. Does not, not dependent upon the mind for existence, actual. All right, so it's not dependent upon the mind for existence, it is actual, it's objective, okay? What is subjective? Subjective, based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. Dependent on the mind and on an individual perspective for its existence. So one is this idea of physical objects or facts, and one is subjects or ideas. So my question is that when does things go from objective to subjective? So another idea to think about here is that, well, number one, every single thing that is created is first created subjectively, then it becomes objective. In other words, we can also say that the subjective world is the 4D world. It is the realm of the 4D. We can say the objective realm is the realm of the 3D. If you were to look at a picture of a hypercube, which I have on my computer here, you would be able to see, actually I can make myself co-host, I can share it. You can see my voice over here. Make myself co-host so you can see it over here. Make co-host. Yes, that's what I want to do. Animations, not animations, insert. Slide. Slide.
See your
All
screen.
right, cool, great. So when we look here, what we can see is that this is a hypercube. You can see it moving from the inside out, and you can see that the cube. So the Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and it was void and without form. So it was subjective. Okay, it exists. It was a subjective. Then it says, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water, that was darkness on the face of the water deep, and then God moved upon the move, right? So the Spirit of God moved. So when we're looking at here is the movement of that which is inside to the outside. So the Spirit of God moved upon the face. Well, you see how it moves from the inside, and the inside becomes now the new face. So then it says, once it did that, then it said, let there be light. Now there's an external or an objective creation. Okay. Now, it's a very interesting thing here that the principle of mentalism says all is mind, the universe is mental. Well, something that is subjective and this is where the dictionary, what they told you, what's been dictated to us, says not dependent upon the mind for existence. Well, first of all, everything's mind. Everything's dependent upon the mind for existence, first of all, because it was first subjective before, it was subjective before it became objective. Therefore, this is a false statement. Everything is dependent upon the mind because all is mind. If you live in the mind of God, what does that make you? Pure imagination. So let me exit this. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Because all my slides got deleted. So now I'm at the peck and hunt for what I was looking for to continue this. Okay, cool, I got it. I'm working two computers, I'm sorry. Well, not sorry, but there we go. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys, if you've been here before, you've seen this slide, but I like bringing it up because it just makes so much sense to me. We're going to go a little bit deeper today, though, with this idea. So in order to be the gift, you have to be in the present. Well, let me ask you guys a question. How would a person feel if they received a gift? The same idea of being in the present or receiving the present or receiving presents. When you receive a present, how do you feel? Will you feel grateful? Some people will say in awe. Some people will say gratitude. Or we could say grateful or greatly filled or fulfilled. But my question is today is well, what are you filled with? What are you filled with? Would you be filled with light? Would you be filled with love? Would you filled with hate? Some people say, well, if an orange juice is on the inside, when you squeeze, what's going to come out? What's going to come out is orange juice, right? So what are you filled with? I had a slide on there that was lovely that I made, but it got deleted. So let's think about an idea of be, that everybody is beautiful, meaning that B-U-T, full of you. Full of you, but still, if you're present, meaning you're grateful, you greatly feel, all of these things apply in the moment of experiencing. But again, let me go down again. Bring this up here. This here. So what are you, we say, being you too full, but what are you? So congruency of being what? Well, how do you get into congruency of being? The inside like the outside. Personal reality and the personal reality. So you have the personal reality and the personality, the inside and the internal ideology and the external ideology. Both of these things have to be congruent with each other. And so how this happens, we have these things called the 5 mental faculties. I think Raj probably going to teach the whole class on the 5 mental faculties at some point. But these 5 mental faculties make up your perception or your map of the world. For people with NLP, people that listen, read Neville Goddard, your conditioned consciousness objectified, or what Bev says, mental configuration. It's all the same thing. Okay. So your perception or represents, or your presence is all of these ideas, or how is it that we get out of the idea of ego, right? This idea of energy ego. Well, we do it through kindness. And there's 3 different ways to look at kindness. It's the kindness to yourself, self-compassion, the kindness or self-love, the kindness to others, and the kindness that you are. the kindness that you are. And these three kindnesses is the kind or what you are. So again, we could talk about even the idea of one. And that's what we're going to go to next again. Because I had all this nice and organized. That's all jacked up. Oh well. Pretty sure you've seen this slide from last week. But today I want to focus on this idea of the kindness that you are. We say the oneness, the one that you are. And this idea here, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. I'm going to bring up a subject about this idea about our mathematics. Our mathematics are nice, but they have a fundamental flaw, especially with multiplication. So if anybody have any, like, I would just like a discrepancy with what I'm about to say, raise your hand, because I like to hear your opinion. But so multiplication is defined as exaggerated addition. Okay, multiplication is defined as exaggerated addition. Okay, so 2 times 4, that's 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, that's 8. All right, let's try another experiment. Okay, all right, what's 1 times 4? Well, 1 times 4 is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. What? How'd you get 5, James? Well, because of this idea. Well, are we talking about a subjective? Is our mathematics subjective or objective? In an objective world, 1 times 4 is equal to 5. Why? Because you have 5 objects. You have 5 objects. Subjectively, it's 4. Because it's not an object. We're talking about subjective things. But in the objective worlds, which mathematics is based off objectiveness, which means that 4 times 1 is equal to 5. Something plus something or something multiplied by something, it cannot be the same thing. If we said 0, now if I said 0 times 1, well, what would that be? Well, our mathematics would say 0. No, the answer is 1. You got something and you got nothing. So something multiplied by nothing, you don't take it away, you still got 1. So the answer is 1. So if our mathematics are messed up on an objective level, all of the mathematics are jacked up. You just can't make with 0 and 1 exemptions for everything else to work. If it's labeled as exaggerated addition, it has to be exaggerated addition. That's why I have here this 1 times 1 times, 1 to the magnitude of 1 is 2. 1 to the magnitude of 3, to the 2 is 3. So this is going up in a logarithmic pattern. But the universe is not just made of logarithms. They're made of both logarithmic and algorithmic patterns. The Fibonacci sequence is a algorithmic pattern. An algorithmic pattern is something that basically it operates by a set of rules. And this set of rules is basically add the next number. So 0, the next number is 1, you add the next number. It will be 1, you add the next number is 2, and it goes just like that. Follow these rules, follow these set of things. And this Fibonacci sequence is literally the blueprint to the universe. Like every single thing is made with this blueprint. You can see here how it's, you can see here how fish, the human body, your hand, butterflies, architecture, all of these things are made from this algorithmic function. So let me go back here. So I'm gonna get into this right here, and I'll be dang. So in the Bible, we talk about prophets. So if you look at these two words are actually the same word. It's pronounced the same, meaning it is the actual same word. If you were a prophet, you should definitely be making some profit because you know what's going to happen, right? So you should definitely make some profit, but most people aren't making any profit. And they're not making any profit because they have no idea what phi actually is when it comes down to this idea. Now, so prophet or prophecy, how you get the prophecy? Well, it's called pro phi c. That's how you become a prophet, pro phi c. So the idea of prophet is actually, are you saying that it's actually looking at the mathematical function of the universe? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That prophet has to do with actually being able to see the mathematical order of the universe, not seeing the actual future. It's talking about this, because if you know mathematically how things function and operate, then you know what's going to happen because it's mathematical. This is an interesting word here. I just want to look at this. So personify, personify. Again, this word phi, reason, a son, person, sit a son. It's all taking us back to this idea of what a sun is and the mathematical function of how that functions and operates. Again, this idea of when we look at this third eye, or the pineal gland, when you look at it, what you see is an ovum right there. And the word opening, or the word op, which means opening. It's the next slide right here. Let me just bring it up real quick. The word op means opening. It means opening. So op, an opening, or it's an ovum. So every part of your body, you can see that receives information. Your lips, ears, eyes, you could vagina, you can look at on the tip of the penis, it's an ovum. The anus, it's all ovums. It's all an ovum. It's just an opening. The pineal gland is shaped like an ovum. It's all openings. And what interesting, I'll keep going, click on this. And what interesting about this too is that when you look at the symbolism of the symbol of phi, you can see that it's a sideways zero with an eye coming out of it. It's an expression of the masculine and female working together. When you overlay it, when a 3D event, it looks like a toroid. The same mathematics that a toroid operates and functions in is the same mathematics that operate the universe. It's the same mathematics. It swirls and how it swirls and operates. It's the same thing with the toroid. Anything else?
Hey, James, worth mentioning that every human being has a toroidal field around them, a magnetic field around them that's actually been measured by science.
That's correct. When we talk, that's a whole another topic about like how the Merkaba, when we look at the Merkaba, or we talk about the tetrahedron, it simulates spiral energy. So when you have a tetrahedron on top of a tetrahedron, which is a Merkaba, what does that turn into? It turns into a toroid. So we have the brain actually produces electrical and magnetic field that's measured, but the heart actually puts out an electromagnetic field that is actually, I think it's like 5 times the size of the one that the brain puts out. I got some illustrations with that too, but I don't have them on here. And I wanted to just say one more thing. I apologize. My computer died right before. I mean, I didn't die. I had to reset it, and then all my slides got deleted. I was like, oh, yay. So that's pretty much what I have to share with you guys today. So to kind of like wrap it up, what I was saying here is that one of the main things is this idea of this starkness, that how everything is created in the universe, every single thing, as well as the mathematical expressions, our feelings, how we think, all of these things are connected. Geometry, they're all connected, and our language assists us. I mean, we don't need a religion. The language, when you understand how a language functions and operates from its both absolute and its relative functions, then the language will literally unfold and show you exactly what reality actually is. And so we talked about subjectiveness and objectiveness. Subjective is from the mental realm. Objective is, or the realm of the 4D, and objective is the realm of the 3D. And we can see how this idea of how everything moves from the inside out, and how the inside becomes the outside in the face, and how in the beginning there was creation without any objectiveness, not without an object. And it was the spirit moved right on the face. You think about a face is a 3D sphere. It's got one face. So this moving from the inside to the outside to the face. So with that being said, I am going to now, has anybody got a few questions with anything, or maybe I can clarify some things? If not, we're going to move into getting calm and getting still. See any hands? Raj, you see any hands? I don't see any hands.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, quick question. So,
Okay.
so how would you, using your subjective description, how would you translate or interpret for somebody what it means to face your fears?
Oh, well, I think that what that would means is that number one is this idea that what is real, right? Now, the definitions tell us it's something that if it's in the mind, then it's not real. But things that you can feel are actually very objective, and they're very real. So how we would change that is that we change the subjective view of the actual event. That's how we change it. So let's say that we had some fear around driving a car because we had an accident. Well, every time you get in that car, you begin to start feeling those sensations. Well, what we have to do is we have to disassociate that event, or subjectively change the meaning, so that when it becomes objectified, it's no longer, this has the same energy. So we change the energetic presence of the subject, and the objective or the manifestation of that will be completely different. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I it wasn't necessarily for me. I just wondered how you would,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
how you would, using that definition of subjective versus objective. I believe you did. I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you conquer the fear of getting back in that car after you know that there was an accident, that you did have an accident? How do you get past that?
Well, how we get past it is being in the present moment. The accident happened then, it's not now. And
Correct.
so if we're having the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same emotions, same feelings, we're having the same experiences. And so it's not so much that you're going to have an accident when you get in the car, or that you have to conquer anything. Is that what has happened is that there has been an association in your mind subjectively that when I get in the car, somebody's going to hit me. So how we change that is that number one is that is a lie, right? Or because if you are a sane driver, that same experience is not going to happen. It's not the present. So how we do that is becoming present and realize what's happening now. And so when we realize that, then we can begin to start listening to why that is there. Because if the automatic program is there, then we're in response mode. But if we allow that to go and we just say, okay, ask the question, why is this here? Is this here because of something that is actually real or that needs to be addressed? No, there's nobody trying to hurt you or any of those things. What has happened is that an internal association with the car has been now saying it's fear. So the easy portion is become present, notice why it's there, love why it's there, and then change the subjective view with something that is energetically more powerful, like safety, feeling peace, feeling confident in your own ability to drive. And that will override what had happened was.
Hopefully, yes, you're right. And I see where that is the better way to, move forward, no matter what your experiences have been. To move forward is to say that is the past, and you don't want to project it, in your present situation where you get in the car and think accident and create it.
Yes.
I'm learning a whole lot. My vocabulary isn't very large with this, but I do understand.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
Zena?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. So for some reason, I teach a class on triggers. And so for some reason, there's a part in your brain or some trauma that existed that causes you to get stuck in the event. And the event is, oh my gosh, a lion's going to eat me, or, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in a car accident. And what it is you're stuck in that event. And as you travel forward, you're taking a past event with you. That's what he's talking about. James is saying that, like, if you took it and you were in an accident and then you went back out to your car and it was sitting in the garage. Yeah, it's scary that you were in a car accident in that car, but now you're in your garage in that car. And that fear no longer exists. That was in the past. So getting present with where you are today is what James is saying, that helps you release that. And you're right. The more you think about the accident, the more you feed going back in time, right? Or back into that situation. So yeah, being present is like the biggest piece. So I like totally vibe with the subjective piece.
Yes. It's a challenge. It's a big challenge to get over that, because our memories are incredibly powerful. And, in this journey I'm taking, it's the memories that you're supposed to view, your past memory. You're supposed to view them. So it's kind of challenging sometimes in daily life, where you come across a situation like a car. I actually, by the grace of God, am sitting here. But it's hard for me not to think of that situation. And I actually use it as a learning tool, trying with my kids to, never just jump on it, kind of thing. I'm getting literal, but you understand. It's hard to not bring those memories with you as you, sit in or you've experienced something that was not real great.
Yeah, and if I could give you a different analysis, like we just finished the Olympics, and if somebody was in the Olympics and they focus and they were trying to break their track record, for example, do you think they go back and go, when I was a toddler, I used to fall down a lot?
Yeah.
Like, see how absurd that is?
Yeah, I get it.
But here's the thing is they have to create something that they haven't done before. So you can't focus on past history to base the new creation on.
Yes.
So it's a discipline of looking forward and creating as you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Working on it.
Yeah, me too, me too.
Mhm.
Well, you're in the right
So
place, Carol. You're in the right place.
You definitely are. So I kind of also spoke on that too, about this idea about our perception or our representation of reality. Like the map is or our map of the world. The map is not the terrain. As much as we think in our mind about what the subjective or the objective world is, it's never that way. We don't think how things are. I mean, we don't think how things are. We think how we are. So, and it's the same thing about conditioned consciousness objectified. It's a conditioning that we objectify. That's how things become real to us, through our conditioning, how we condition those, our outcomes and then our perspective as we look at them.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any questions? If not, we're gonna do a lovely little relaxing.
Jana had a really great question that I think would be
Okay.
great to answer. She put it in the chat. What if
Oh,
no
okay.
one admits the accident actually happened? How does someone get past that? I'm assuming she's not talking about a car accident as much as something traumatic happening that someone else is not admitting to. How does someone get past that? And it's an interesting question, because in this context of subjective and objective, because I've noticed that most of us are not living in the same reality. But this goes to a pointed, like, what if someone's subverting the truth or whatever? But you know, I was interested to hear how you would answer that question.
I think that what matters, I think what really matters is that how is that accident affecting the person, right? It's like, let's say if a person says that they got in a car accident and they just completely just ignored that they had a car accident. Now, I know some healing techniques that have to do with just completely ignoring things, and it works. But ignoring its existence even exists. So I think that really the question is that how is what had happened was affecting their now present?
I think what she's saying, though, what if no one admits the accident actually happened? I think she's talking about the other people around. So it's almost like a lack of validation or some sort lack of confirmation that something bad actually happened. Not within the person themselves, but from their outside. I mean, Janet's got to
Well,
clarify if she can, but
yeah, I
that's
think
what
you got to
I'm
clarify
reading
that,
it that
Jenna,
way.
so I could, yeah, you got to clarify for me so I can kind of answer it, because I don't believe it's Jenna. Are you there?
Can I offer some input?
Go right ahead.
If it were me, and I would have to ask myself, why do I need someone else's acknowledgement, right? To feel, what is it? Validated, right? And so, you know, all
Well,
I
I
can
mean,
do is
what about in
decide
the
for
case?
myself,
Okay. Yeah.
you know, and just accept that they have their process and I can't force them along that process. So, and I don't want to be stuck. So I'm going to let it go and let them have all the space they need, and hopefully they figure out in this lifetime. All I can do is make sure I'm figuring out everything that I need to figure out.
Well, I guess to validate, I would say in the case of, say, sexual impropriety. You know, if somebody doesn't admit that they're being sexually inappropriate with somebody, and then nobody else believes that that's happening, how does somebody get over that? So
Well,
I guess in some
Same.
cases, yeah, validation is kind of important on, in these circumstances to heal through.
I think
Well,
that,
when the other person acknowledges it, what's happening there? Is there some kind of magical energy coming through their acknowledgement that's going to heal the other person? Because I mean, a lot of times it feels like that, but it never heals like that.
are you speaking from personal experience?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's more of a thing of where, uh, so I'm speaking in terms of when somebody doesn't admit that they're doing that.
If they
And I
don't
think for
admit,
every
it means
case
they're
that might
terrified.
be a little bit different. But I do know that when, say, you're gaslit and told that, you know, something never happened and made out to be lying, I would say that that takes somebody a lot longer to heal from that particular trauma. Because not only have you been offended, but now you're a liar, you know?
I mean, that's a really good perspective. But I'm gonna give two things, and I think to kind of like to get this, and then we're gonna go into the and I'll get to you, Kate and Fame. So, okay, so for me, my perspective is that if a person needs another person permission or validation or in order to heal, then they put their ability to heal in someone else's hands. It is a wonderful thing for two people to sit down and like and talk about things. I had a wonderful experience. I was sexually mistreated, handled, molested, whatever you want to call it, by my cousin, female, when I was a child. And I had gone many years wanting to talk and validate this and get this done, or whatever. And so just happened one fateful day that I was able to, through just pure coincidence, spend some time with this person. And the conversation kind of went like this: "Hey, James, my wrist is hurting. Can you help me?" And so I went through this healing process with her or whatever, and I just locked eyes with her, and I just felt so much love in this person, and everything that I thought in my mind, it was gone. It was just evaporated. It was just like instantly healed. It was just like, it was done in that moment. I didn't talk about what had happened but I could feel something had shifted. And that's all I needed. And I was like, man, whatever that was, whatever I felt, or it just healed me instantly. And I think it healed that person too. So that's what I have to say about that. Faye Marie?
Yes, going back to what we were talking about with Carol's point, I was sharing with Beth last night about an experience I had some years ago, which was quite a defining experience for me. And it was based on one of my very favorite books called Psycho-Cybernetics. Of course, psycho is of the mind and cybernetics is of the machine. And the whole premise was that our mind is a machine. And this man, Maxwell Maltz, talked about the people in the Holocaust and in the internment camps. And it wasn't the most strong men who survived. It was the ones who were able to visualize themselves getting out and having a life. And so basically, I was in a very dysfunctional relationship, and I was about to go on a trip with him to Memphis for 7 hours. And I'm thinking, I need to read, on this trip, because he was just a kind of abusive person. And anyway, and so what I did was I used the exercises in Psycho-Cybernetics and literally went into this space, which we talk about a lot now in all of our groups about visualization. And I literally went into myself in a quiet place and felt the movement of the car and felt and heard the trucks going by and felt his presence there driving the car. And I saw myself and felt myself reading from left to right page and turning the page and feeling the feelings and experiencing, wow, that's great, that's wonderful, and feeling joy. And I just conjured up this whole experience of reading while feeling the movement and the entire experience of riding in the car. And I did this for about an hour, and I am just amazed to say I've never had a car sick moment in my life since then and can read in the car and with no issue because I conjured up that experience so powerfully. And so I also have someone in my life who has been through this fear and still is in this fear of the example James used about driving a car. And that experience is something that I'm encouraging her to do, and she's going to allow me to walk her through one of those enactments of that. And so if we can so powerfully, I mean, this is where faith comes from, the evidence of things unseen. And then when we experience it so powerfully and somatically in our body and our mind at the same time, then it manifests itself. And so in that case, I think the fear would most likely go away because we would be visualizing ourselves and fun, driving a car and seeing ourselves in the garage and seeing ourselves on the road and feeling the same exact thing. And I do believe that is one tool, maybe one of the best tools for dissipating and rewriting that experience as a joyful thing rather than a fearful thing. So
yeah. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Kathy.
Hi. Yeah, I was just thinking where Jenna's coming from, that as a child who's been violated and doesn't even understand, they know that they feel something wrong's been done to them, but if they don't feel validated, then they think, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I feel bad that this happened, and the adults around me want me to pretend it didn't happen or think it's not a bad thing. Then the child starts to feel shame and guilt and somehow responsible when it's not their freaking fault. And so a child definitely needs validation, and then sometimes that child in us needs to know that, oh yeah, that's why I felt, like, what did I do? And the shame or whatever, because as a child, we didn't get that validation. So like as adults, we can look at now saying, hey, I don't need validation. I'm validated because God made me and all that stuff. But children can't wrap their brains around it unless they were raised that way. If they were raised to hide the truth and never talk about what's real, then when that part of them that is who they really are wants to be real and be themselves, and like, hey, I don't think this was right, it doesn't feel right, but they don't know right from wrong, they have a tendency to feel shame. So anyway, I could relate with that, and yeah.
Thank you for that, Kathy. I definitely get that. I definitely do get that too.
And thank you for your thank you for your presentation, by the way. I have trouble wrapping my brain around a lot of this stuff, so I want to go back and watch the replay, and because it's like mind-boggling. All these words we've used for years have these hidden meanings that I'm like, oh my gosh, spelling, I'm still like, well, it's pretty amazing. So thank you for that.
You're definitely welcome.
That's
all right, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna, it seems everybody got the questions answered for that question, and I'm pretty sure Beth's gonna offer an opportunity for people to ask additional questions after we get to this next question. So what we're gonna do right now, guys, is that we're gonna go on a journey, and so I'm gonna do the first little leg and helping you guys get relaxed and feeling deeper into your body. Getting deeper into your body. And so I'll ask you guys to, not to answer out loud. Maybe if you want to answer, I'll unmute yourself, but would you guys agree to do your best to follow any guidance that assist you with becoming more aware of your higher self, the higher perspective of yourself? Would you guys agree to do that? Great. Would you guys agree to just relaxing and just going on this beautiful journey together? All right. Well, if that is what you guys want to do, I ask you guys to begin, find yourself a nice comfortable spot, a nice comfortable space where you can kind of lay back and relax and not really be disturbed a whole lot for, I'd say, probably the next 20 minutes or so. So guys, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and take a couple of lovely deep breaths. If it assists you with every single breath, imagine if there was white smoke coming out of your mouth. And with every exhalation, allowing for yourself to become more and more relaxed. Even as I begin to speak more and more, just allowing yourself to let go and fall deeper and deeper into the present moment. I'm going to count down from 10 down to 1. And when I get down to 1, you're going to know and feel a deeper sensation of relaxation. 10, 9, 8, already feeling more relaxed and letting go. 7, 6, 5, 4, yes, already feeling your cheeks, your eyebrows, your total face, shoulders, just relaxing. 3, 2, 1, now, deeply, deeply relaxed. Breathing, relaxing, simply just letting go. More and more, piece by piece, bit by bit. Could there be more relaxation? Yes. Oh, yes. Now, relaxing, letting go. With every breath, more and more relaxation. I invite you guys to imagine if you were in a beautiful place in the nature. And this beautiful place in the nature can be real or imaginary. But it's a place where you feel connected. It's a place where you feel safe. It's a place where you feel grounded. You are grounded now, feeling more and more connected with every breath, feeling more and more safe with every breath, and just relaxing, drifting, floating away. I'm going to count up from 5 to 1. And when I do, you're going to hear the beautiful Beth speaking to you. It's not going to startle you. You're going to be able to just ride the wave into this next step of the journey. 5, 4, 3. Yes, the next step, still feeling connected, knowing this next phase of the journey is coming. 3, 2, 1. Now.
And we are going on a journey. We are returning to the I am. That I am. That I am. That exists only within you. So we're taking a quiet walk into the electric forest. Look around and see the trees. See their beauty. Smell the moss. Feel the grass and the leaves beneath your feet. Touch the tree next to you. Give it a hug. Feel the roughness of its bark, but experience its inner beauty. We are journeying inside to the foundation of unconditional love. And so just as we've entered now, look around, see the trees around you. And we're going to remove some things that we don't need for this journey. We're just going to leave them here on the tree. They'll be fine. And we can pick them up on our way out. But for just right now, we're going to hang them on the tree. We are going to take all spiritual practices we have, which we believe will take us somewhere or attain something, and we're going to hang them on the tree. So just remove them all and hang them on the tree. When you see them hanging there, now we're going to take all religious or spiritual symbologies and stories and hang them on the tree as well. We don't need them for this journey. So we're just going to hang them there and they'll be fine. We can pick them up on the way out. We don't need a human brain to know God's love. So it's okay. We love our children, yet the word love, the language and the images that we assign to explain the word are only descriptive words used in addition to describe the feeling of every cell in your body. If we keep talking about how much we love someone, know that we are most likely not feeling it. So we're going to hang all of these words and symbols on the tree so we can know and feel God's presence now, right now, without all of our spiritual and religious stories. They are beautiful stories, but right now we don't need them. So hang them on the tree and see them hanging on the tree. We don't need our job titles or our careers in this forest. So we hang them on the tree too. We don't need our academic achievements or relationships. So we are hanging them on the tree too. They are beautiful, but we don't need them for this experience. So we're hanging them on the tree. If we hang these relationships on the tree, such as mother and child, self and other, we can come back to them with a new type of love. It will be a more vibrant, pure love, as it will have no conditions of relationships and memories. It will be fresh. So let's hang them on the tree too. We're clearing some space inside, as spaciousness is needed to awaken the I am. And see them over there on the tree. Just observe them on that beautiful tree. And they're fine. We can pick them up on the way out. Lastly, we are hanging our name, our nationality, our race, our gender, and creed on the tree. For it's not needed right now either. So hang them on the tree and they will be safe. And you can pick them up on our way out. As we walk in the forest, look around. We're walking side by side. And we release all expectations of God's presence. We release all notions of what it might be like. So let's hang expectations on the tree too. Just in case we expect something different to what it is. So let's just hang that on the tree too, just in case we overcomplicate it. So all of that is on the tree. You can observe it hanging on the tree. Now, feel into the free space and experience the freedom inside from removing all of this temporarily. Feel it. Experience that spaciousness within you. Now that all of that stuff is over there, hanging on the tree. And now, since we have so much extra space, we're going to look at your brain. Over there on the tree. And realize that language is a function of the brain. Take that function of language from the brain and hang it on the tree. We don't need language to know God's love. Language is full of time. God's love is not. As we rest in presence in this moment, feel the expansiveness within you. You're only feeling. A stranger comes near you and says, "Who is that hung? Who is it that hung this name on the tree?" At first, you might answer, "Me." But who is me? It's me, John, or Mary. Oh, wait, no, because we hung that on the tree. So, who is me? The stranger asks, "Who is it that hung relationships on the tree?" You might want to say, "Well, it's me, the father or the mother." But you can't be the father or the mother, as you have hung that on the tree. Again, the stranger says, "Who is it that hung that career on the tree?" The teacher, the healer, the student, the founder of a charity, the landowner, the artist, the programmer. Who is it that hung that career on the tree? Again, the stranger asks, "Who is it that hangs these things on the tree?" Feel that. Feel it. Feel it and know it within you. Who is it that hangs these things on the tree? The identities, the relationships, the gender, the race, the creed. Who is it? And that empty, expansive, still place within you will eventually reply would be, "I am." Who is the one that was able to hang all of these things on the tree? Explore that within. Feel it. Remember, you put the language down, so you shouldn't be asking questions. Only who? Investigate it. Ask yourself, who is the one that hung my name, my achievement, my title, my memory, my language, my relationships, my culture on the tree? What is the identity of the one who hung these things on the tree? Feel into that. Experience it. Explore it. Only in this present state of emptiness, expansiveness of the being. What is the identity of the one who hung these things on the tree? Who is the one? I am. I am. As you feel this freedom, the mind will try to own it and ask, how can I keep this? This is the voice of the reason you don't have it. The inquirer, the thinker. That thinker is thought. It is the one that separates you from the I am. Experience the beauty that you feel within. The beauty of the expansiveness, the emptiness, raising your vibration. You are feeling the vibrations of unconditional love. You feel the energy, the vibrance for this mystery of life. Because now you're not busy grabbing at it, looking at everything and saying, water flowing, bird chirping, dog barking, child crying. Experience the vibrance for this mystery of life, this freedom, this openness, the expansiveness of the I am. The I am, the vibrations of unconditional love. The noise of labeling and describing everything. It's layers and layers of death upon this experience of this wonderful mystery, rendering it absent. Feel the expansiveness. Feel the beauty. Experience it within. Experience it without the finite mind taking hold of it and trying to make it something. when you realize the one who's hanging this on the tree is the I am, the world becomes magical. Smile. Smile. Experience the sun within you, the warmth and the glow. Just the feelings, just the feelings. The feelings, everything. I am is the feeling of unconditioned love, which is the foundation upon which to build all things. A world of forgiveness, honesty, and truth, which is where the I am exists. And when you do this, all of your suffering will be eradicated by that I am, because it can forgive. And you cannot. Forgiveness is the fuel for the birth of the I am. Without forgiveness, you'll grab at things to fill the void of the I am inside you. Locate who hung your name, your nationality, your career on the truth. The I am, the permanent connection to all that is right there. When you feel it, the I am is born. And now you can see all the things you said you are. And you can now build and change. From the space inside of the empty canvas of I am, we can build our own I am. Each our own. I ams that are not detrimental to us and don't make us victims. The I am is now able to love and create. For I am is living awareness. Everyone that passes the I am presence, you can be lovingly aware and attentive to and compassionate to. I am light. I am love. I am life. I am a child of the divine. I am brilliance. I am beauty. I am that I am. The call to Christ consciousness is the beginning to the end of this matrix and the birth of the Christ, the I am within. Awaken to the I am. Create your I am. And teach those who are ready to receive. For the omnipotent presence of love, the living awareness, is everywhere to support you. I am that I am. I am. Slowly, slowly. When you're ready, take as long as you like to bathe in the beauty of the I am. And when you're ready, open your eyes slowly, look at the ground. And then look up and look around you. And look into the eyes, to the hearts of those in front of you. Well, that's you. The I am. I love you.
I have deep compassion for you, my sister.
Thank you. I receive that. And I have deep compassion for you, Raj, and all of you. Because when I have compassion for you, I have compassion for me. When I have compassion for me, I have compassion for you. And there doesn't need to be any more wars. Just conversations and tolerance and love and presence. The I am, that's all we need, because that's all that's real. It's right there. We just forgot. But now we know. No more seeking. No more seeking. Because now we know. We know. We know. We are not the labels. We're not the identities. We are not the relationships. We are not the thoughts. We're not the mind. We are not the body. We are the living awareness that has come to experience our own imaginings. And we are limitless. We are limitless. And I am choosing, to the best of my ability in every moment of now, to imagine and express beauty and oneness, co-creation, and forgiveness of self. Oh, yes, forgiveness of self. That is the only way that this right now is happening. Forgive myself and accept myself as I am, with all my perceived flaws, which were not. I know they're perfection. And so there are no flaws, just lessons, experiences, beauty and joy and growth. And all of you are me. And so you guys are amazing. Extremely amazing and extremely beautiful. So, yeah. Maybe, just maybe, I feel like, well, it's coming in as saying that everyone needs to stay still and in this space and journal. Journal what it is you experienced. So you will have somewhere to go to remember who it is you are in times of turbulation. And so I'm going to close this beautiful radiant space. So much love and perfection. And thank you for joining me on my journey, our journey. And how you choose to express yours is perfect. Never ever apologize for who you are. Just do your best in every moment now. And maybe next week we can share what you journaled, what you felt. I love you.
I love you too, Beth. Just a quick note, Wednesday's tool time. It's going to be a very special tool time. We are going to talk about, we've talked about a new platform for Limitless. And what I thought I'd do is I'd open it up to all of you all and get your input, right? Because you're all part of that community. So we're going to, in the technical world, in the IT world, it's called gathering requirements. I call it gathering your ideas, your creations. And so I'm going to open it up. Now, I'm not going to promise that every idea is going to be implemented, but we're certainly going to document it. And we're going to do our best to provide you with an experience that will keep you coming back. So on Wednesday, we're gonna do that. And by the way, I've got a special treat for everybody here. I think you all know that I've been doing some pretty deep cleansing with Ho'oponopono. And as I do the cleansing, there are certain prayers that come through me, which are available in my paid course. But for this group, and I think for the world in general, one prayer that is coming through me, and I haven't finished it, but it will be done in the next couple of weeks. It's a prayer about healing. And I know that we're not our body, but there are a lot of people that are attached to their body and their bodies are diseased. So it's a prayer to move an individual from a state of dis-ease to a state of well-being throughout the 12, we have 12 systems in our body. So I call it the 12 system prayer. And so it actually goes step by step through each of our 12 systems. And it does a clearing. It does a clearing and it clears away any and all attachment that we may have to any energies in those systems that are not serving this vessel that was gifted to us by the divine, so that we could carry forward the message of Christ, right? Which is to spread love for all, because we are loved and we are love. And our message is simply a message of love, which is what makes us limitless. And in order for us to be that voice, we need to have a clear mind and a clear body. And so I believe that this prayer is going to help a lot of people heal their dis-ease. And I wish to share that with all of you all first. So that's upcoming.
Thank you, Raj. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. For all of you. All right, either on Wednesday, because every voice matters and every voice counts. And the new Earth reality is birthed from unity. And I love you. Have an amazing evening.
Thank you all.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you so much to both
Love
of
you all.
and James
Love you
and
all.
everyone.